Hey guys, it's Eric here and this is the Infinix S5 unboxing and my quick review. The box looks a little different from all the S series before it. We have some of the specs on the side and back. When we open it up, we are greeted with a smartphone. Let's go ahead and take out the sticker on the back and on the front. This is the Quetzal Cyan color. It also comes in midnight black and a new violet color. We have a warranty card, an envelope that houses the SIM ejector tool, X-Club booklet, a user guide. We can see all the 4G LTE bands that it supports here, including Glo 4G band 28. I think this is the first Infinix S series phone to actually support the infamous Glo 4G band. We get a transparent TPU case. Let's see how well it fits. We have a film screen protector. On the bottom compartment, we have a standard 10 watts charger, a micro USB cable, and a pair of earphones. On the front, we have a 6.6-inch HD Plus IPS LCD display with 20:9 aspect ratio. On the top corner, you have a punch hole that houses a 32 megapixel camera and an earpiece on the top. On the back, you have a quad camera setup, a 16 megapixel main shooter, a 5 megapixel ultra wide lens, and a 2 megapixel depth sensor, plus an unknown fourth lens with quad flash. You also get a fingerprint sensor and some Infinix branding. On the left, you have a 3-in-1 tray that houses two 4G LTE nano SIMs and an SD card. On the right, you have a volume rocker and power button. On the top, you have nothing. On the bottom, you have a speaker, a micro USB port, a microphone, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. The Infinix S5's curvy back and frame are made from a polycarbonate material. The Quetzal Cyan is a gradient color with diagonal lines across the back. The camera bump is pretty subtle and the quad flash arrangement is different. It's a pretty good looking phone. Comparing the form factor to the Infinix S4, it is a lot taller and you get more screen real estate. It's still pretty light in the hand even with the case on. The punch hole camera cutout easily stands out from the rest of the Infinix lineup. Infinix calls it the Infinity O display, which sounds very familiar. There's no screen bleeding around the punch hole and the HD Plus display has great viewing angles and is easy to type on. It doesn't take much away from your viewing experience, though YouTube videos are capped at 720p. Now you can hide the punch hole, but it looks super duper weird when you do this, so don't. My S5 comes with 64 gigs of storage and 4 gigs of RAM, but there's a 128 gig storage variant with 6 gigs of RAM. We are running on Android 9 Pie with XOS Cheetah version 5.5.2 slapped on top of it. With it came a bunch of bloatware, some of which can be deleted. You get a full quick settings, you get reading mode and eye care, your usual navigation settings including swipe gestures, and you even get some hand gestures to pick and end calls, but these things I personally will never use. Infinix S5 ships with the MediaTek Helio P22 octa-core CPU clocked at 2.0 GHz and it's the same one on the Infinix S4. It will run your everyday apps pretty smoothly and it will handle a fair bit of multitasking too. Fingerprint has a fairly decent speed and the less secure Face ID is even faster when it comes to unlocking your phone. The S5 uses the PowerVR GE8320 GPU and as usual I played PUBG on default settings, which is smooth graphics and medium frame rates. It ran as expected with a few frame drops here and there. This GPU is more optimized for games like Call of Duty than it is for PUBG. About battery life, it is no longer news that 4000 mAh battery lasts forever on the Helio P22 chip, and here it is no different. I got through a full day of use, doing mostly social media and a lot of PUBG gaming all on Wi-Fi, and this gave me 11 plus hours of screen on time. It took me 3 whole hours to charge from 0 to 100% and it does not support fast charging. The Infinix S5 has a total of 5 cameras. The quad AI camera of the Infinix S5 is a bit of an upgrade coming from the S4. I tried to block each camera to know what's what, but at last I can't figure out what the fourth camera is about. From the interface, we can see a Google Lens button right beside the option to switch cameras. What's really new here is that you can now record videos on the wide angle lens and even shoot macro mode videos. It records videos in 1080p from the front and back camera. There is no image stabilization on this guy. So this is the front facing camera of the Infinix S5 and here's what the audio sounds like. We get high dynamic range outdoors, we see a color shift and a dip in quality from the ultra wide camera, which is expected. The selfie camera looks okay, though with high exposure levels, the selfie portrait mode is doing a decent job considering it is software based. The portrait mode using the depth sensor is much more accurate when it comes to reading your face, and it has a crop factor too. The quality of the S5 camera kind of reminds me of the 05 because of the clarity and color contrast with shots taken indoors. Compared to the selfie camera of the S4, S5 is way sharper and we get slightly better skin tones outdoors on the S5 as well. As for nighttime photography, S4 performs a little better, but none of these are usable. You will need to use the quad flash of the S5 at night. The Infinix S5 may have the heart of the S4, but the shell has definitely gone through a few refinements. The bigger display is one of such, and of course, that punch hole is trendy enough to make a few people want to make the jump from the S4 to the S5. I'm a big fan of compact phones, but if you've been craving a phablet-sized budget phone with a trendy design, a punch hole, a decent camera, great battery life, and support for Glo 4G Band 28, then the Infinix S5 is worth considering. The S5 is priced at 53,000 Naira, which converts to $147 for this variant right here, and 62,500 Naira, which converts to $175 for the 128 gig storage variant with 6 gigs of RAM. If you wish to see a comparison between the S5 and any other budget phone that I've reviewed, please leave a comment. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and share it. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram to see what I'm up to. Do subscribe for more videos like this, as it will mean a lot to me, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.